Hello everybody, this is Dr. Eric DiMartino from DiMartino Chiropractic Center in Chesterfield, and today we're talking about constipation. Now, this is an issue that is very widespread, and I knew a lot of people suffer from it, but I was really shocked once I did some research to find out exactly how many people are affected by it. And we're going to be talking about today is what's called chronic constipation. Constipation, as you know, is when we don't have the amount of bowel movements that we should, and things kind of get backed up. And most people will experience this from time to time, but to have chronic constipation is defined as going at least 3 days without a bowel movement or having 3 or less bowel movements in a week. And for most of us, that seems like that would be painful to go that long, and obviously it is. And I was amazed that 16% of Americans actually suffer from chronic constipation, and 33% of people over 60 have it. So almost a third of people over 60 are dealing with this on a chronic basis. It leads to 700,000 emergency room trips every year just in the US dealing with constipation. So it's a major health issue, and it's a source of great discomfort, obviously, as well. And so one of the biggest things we see besides the discomfort of it is it causes something called leaky gut syndrome. You guys might have heard of this before. Basically, how our bowels work is our bowels are obviously, we know that we eat food, it digests the food, and then we absorb the nutrients, and whatever our body doesn't want, it just keeps in there, and eventually it goes out into the bathroom, right? And so the wall of our gut acts kind of like a protective barrier. It only lets the good stuff in, and it keeps the bad stuff out. But unfortunately, when you become constipated, it causes a lot of inflammation in the lining of our gut. And that inflammation then causes the different channels or the pores by where our nutrients go in to open up more than they should, and starts to let things in that it shouldn't. And commonly it lets in different proteins of fecal matter that can cause a lot of issues, because when they get into our body and into our immune system, our body actually has an immune response. And what happens is, it's as you guys know what the immune system is our body's protective mechanism to fight all the bad stuff, all the germs, the pathogens, the bad things that can cause us to be ill. So it's a protective system. But unfortunately, it starts to attack this inside of our body, and it often will get confused, and it starts to attack our own body cells. You guys have heard of autoimmune disorders. Auto means self, and so our body actually mistakenly attacks ourself. We see it with things like multiple sclerosis, with things like rheumatoid arthritis. Our body starts to attack our own cells, and it leads to this diseases. Well, that's exactly what can happen with leaky gut. We start to attack our own cells. As a result, it can cause so many health issues, all from simply gut issues, commonly constipation. So there's a couple different causes. One is dehydration. A lot of Americans are chronically dehydrated. We don't drink enough water, and as a result, the stool can become very compacted, which can cause constipation. Sitting too much or not having enough activity is a common cause, because movement helps with the bowels to move things along. Another cause, and a common one nowadays, is medications, especially painkillers and opioids. They actually have a term, it's opioid-induced constipation, because so many people unfortunately are taking opioids nowadays that, we see a lot of this with our patients. But constipation can be caused by problems with the nerves in our lower back. You see, this is what our spine looks like, and as you guys may be aware, our spine's job is to surround and protect our spinal cord and our nerves so our body can function properly. Well, the nerves in our low back go to everything in this lower area, from our low back to our legs and feet, but also our bowels. In fact, if you look at this little nerve chart here, you can see the nerves in the lower back here go right out, and they connect into our bowels, right in this area. And we got our small intestine and our large intestine. The small intestine is usually a little higher, the large intestine is lower nerves in this area. And so if we develop a problem in our low back, these bones can start to shift out of place, or they kind of lock up, and it causes inflammation, which causes irritation of these nerves. So when you interfere with the nerve, that nerve cannot properly convey all the information from our brain to our bowels, and as a result, the bowels may not function properly. We see this a lot with our patients in our office. So typically what we do is an assessment to find out if they have problems in their lower back, and if they do, then we can start a protocol of care to correct these problems in their low back. So not only can they feel better, but their constipation can start to be resolved as a result. So if you or someone you know is suffering with constipation, and we'd be happy to help, simply click the link below so you can get access to our special new patient offer that we have. Hope this helps, guys, and I hope you have a great day.